Hey, everybody, welcome to day one of the 10-day jumpstart, or I also called it the 10-day identity jumpstart. And before people jump in here, I just wanted to, just since this is the first video, lay a little bit of a foundation of the process that I want to walk you guys through, and really ultimately the goal that we're all shooting for or looking to achieve. And really the process, or like the purpose of it, is to get clarity is kind of the first step, because without clarity, it's really easy to live reactionary instead of proactive. So by the end of the 10 days, my heart and my desire is to have really helped you find clarity in who God made you to be and how you're wired. And really, it's taking you through a process. So what that means is that it is going to be building on one another. Now, you can skip days, or if you miss days, that's totally fine. But there really are going to be a sense of building on one another, where by the 10th day, there's momentum and a culmination, or an cumulative effect of the different days that we have been working together through what we're going to be fleshing out. And if that sounds good to you, then you could just give me a thumbs up, or say awesome, or throw over whatever comment you want in there. Because that's what we're looking for, right? Is also, that brings up one other point, I want to see engagement with you guys. And I know some of you may be watching this from the recording, but engagement looks like every day we're going to have something that we're going to throw into the comment section. So there's going to be a little bit of vulnerability, because this is connected to you. But it's hard for you to step into everything God has for you while you hide. So something as simple as stepping out into a Facebook post is something that is really good for you to do. Awesome, Arvin. I love the comment there. So day one, passions. Why did I start with passions? Well, it's directly linked to the very thing that God has made you and how he's made you, because your passions are there before your shame or your disappointment or your setbacks or your missed expectations. Or the passions you have are intricately interwoven into who you are. Now, how do you find what your passions are, right? So there's so many different things that we experience in life. How is it that you connect to what is a passion, or what is just something that you like? Well, what I like to say is, when did you feel the times in your life that you felt most alive? Now, let me explain what that means, most alive. That sounds really generic and broad, but what I mean by most alive is one of a few things. This is what we're looking for, okay? One is, you had an unnatural desire to learn more. So everybody may enjoy certain things, but you have a unique desire to really sink your teeth into and learn more about whatever it may be. So maybe it's painting, or maybe it's woodworking, or maybe it's public speaking, or maybe doesn't matter what it is. But when you've done it, or when you think about it, you may not have done some of your passions in a long time. When you think about it, there's really a drive or a desire for you to want to. Now, hopefully we're going to get you to a point where you start to take action and steps towards some of these things. But right now, it may not be a reality for you. So it's things that you want to learn more about, that you're super curious about, or there's the level of curiosity is abnormal. For me, I don't necessarily get overly excited or want to learn more or curious about, let's say, making shoes, or just anything about shoes. You can ask my wife. I am happy wearing jeans and tennis shoes and a hoodie when it's cold. So fashion in general, it's not something that really provokes curiosity in me, or hunger or desire to learn more about it, or really lean into it or perfect it. So that would be one thing. Now it may be, this is another possibility. It may be that you felt really afraid about whatever it may be, but when you did it, you absolutely loved it. See, a passion doesn't mean that there's no fear. And a passion doesn't mean that you're an expert at it by any means. You're probably not that great at it when you first start. A lot of times hobbies that we have are actually hidden passions that are unperfected. So what are some things that fall in that category? And I want you to just pause and think about what is it for you that would fit some of that criteria. Now you can lump it all into most alive. That's kind of the broad phrase. Or another way some people have said it is they feel God's pleasure when they do it, meaning they really feel a sense of peace or excitement or just almost like the blood is rushing, not because of adrenaline, but because it's something that you really, really love doing. And here's one way, or this is what we're going to do in the comments that I want you to throw in to the comment section is to answer these two questions. And this is going to help you flush out what some of those passions are. One is, what's something that fits into that criteria where either you've been extremely curious about, you have an unnatural desire to learn more, to pursue it. Maybe you felt afraid, but when you did it, you felt fully alive and just absolutely loved it. Within those, if you could only pick one thing, just only one thing that you got paid $1 million a year for the rest of your life to master it. Okay. One thing that you will master. I'm just throwing $1 million out there because the whole point is that it's not directly connected to finances. Now, we are going to do some practical things in that arena as we move through these 10 days. But right now, I want you to take step by step and bite by bite in this. So question number one is, if you could do one thing and master it that fits into the criteria of feeling most alive, even if you were intimidated by it, afraid of it, or didn't want to do it at first, or that unusual curiosity that you really want to sink your teeth into. If you could pick that one thing, money's not an issue, but the trade-off with money not being an issue is that you master it, meaning you spend a significant portion of your life dedicated to whatever that may be. And it could be making toy cars. It could be fashion. It could be activating leaders. It could be planting churches. There is no end to what it could be, but the whole thing is you are going to be the master. You're going to be the one that is known for whatever it is. And it's not connected to finances, not now. Okay. Another way, so that's one question. The second question that I want you to flush out and throw in the comments is, and they could actually be the exact same thing, but is, what would you do if you had 100% guarantee that you couldn't fail? Now, maybe it's that one thing that you would master, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be actually two different things. So one is paid $1 million, you're going to master it. The other one being, if I could write a contract to you and say, you know what, you are not going to fail at it. I don't care how scared you feel. I don't care. My wife just threw in there singing. So that's a huge one, right? I mean, there's obviously, I'm smiling because I know the connection to that. I believe in you, baby, and I love your voice. But what would that be? What would that be for, and here, let me, even with that, like, I don't know if you, just the exclamation point, the excitement in that is just, what would it be that you're going, you know what, I can lean into that and I will be good at that and it's guaranteed not to fail. So that's what I want you to do for day one, is think about the areas where you feel most alive. You've got that curiosity, you got that hunger, that desire, that when you do it, you love it abnormally. And then in the comments, throw in there, what would it be that you would do if you got paid to master one thing? And two, what would it be if that this could be just that you try? Doesn't mean that you have to master it. That what would it be that you would try, that you would pursue if you were 100% guaranteed not to fail? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that and leapfrog that into day two, which I'm not going to tell you about yet, but tomorrow's Facebook Live, we're going to flush out what is it within what you're going to comment and throw in there that God has uniquely made you in a way to be able to step into those things. So I look forward to seeing your comments and engaging more throughout the comments that we have each day. Again, I'm really excited for you to go on this journey of the next 10 days. And I fully believe that by the end of this, you're going to have a lot of clarity, really good understanding, and then it's up to you to take the action steps that are required to start to pursue that person that we flush out together. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Facebook Live with another topic. If you have any questions or comments, obviously throw them in to the comment section below and then answer those 2 questions. And I'm excited to see what you come up with.